Bison Media Zone on WDAY Extra.
And welcome everybody to the Bison Media Zone, back each and every Wednesday as we creep closer to the start of football season. Looking forward to that. Fall camp opens on August 1, but all we talk about all the time, the bout of professional football guys that North Dakota State has, the guys that get drafted in the NFL. Heck, just last week we were talking, there are 6 guys that are playing pro basketball off one team. Well, the Bison baseball team wants to say hello because they have had a guy drafted in the Major League Draft now 4 consecutive years. The most recent pick yesterday, right-handed pitcher Joey Danielson was selected by the Texas Rangers in the 17th round of the MLB draft, and he joins us this morning after a crazy couple of days. All right, I said it. Drafted by the Texas Rangers. What goes through your mind when I say that?
It's really is a dream come true. I've been looking forward to experiencing this moment for a long time. So I've been super stoked. Been talking with friends and family. They're all super excited for me, and I can't wait.
So let's, through the pre-draft process here, when did professional baseball come on the radar? Was it before this past season with the Bison? During the season? When did your representation start talking to you about that?
So the first step in the process was kind of getting a couple invites to the prospect portal. So they just kind of asked for questionnaires and stuff. So I've had that going on for a couple of years. And then this last season was the season that kind of took off, and got some phone calls after our season ended. I was actually invited down to the Rangers for a workout, so okay. I threw in front of a bunch of their scouts and coaches down there. So I think that was a huge part in it too.
Was that?
But it was all.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
It was all mainly this last couple months is where it took off.
So to think about that, like, you haven't been done playing all that long. It's like, okay, this is going to happen. Like, professional baseball is in my future.
Yeah, no, it's a crazy feeling. I can't wait to get started. I mean, it feels like it's a big transition point in the career. Obviously, going from college to professional baseball, it's a job now, so everything gets taken up a notch. So yeah, I can't wait to get involved and see where I go from there.
So on your side of this, and I had heard there was a potential you could have gone day 2 on Monday. How are the nerves? I mean, the phone is right there. What were the last 2 days like?
Oh, so day 2, I got a couple phone calls before the day 2 started, and they told me that there's a chance at a money saver pick. So they kind of give. Because I have no really leverage, so they give me a smaller amount for a signing bonus, and then so they'd save money for some of their higher picks. So that was day 2. Didn't end up getting a call until after the day 2 draft was over, and they told me to be ready for day 3. And day 3 came around. I got a call from the Rangers in the 15th round saying they'd have an offer for post-draft. So then I kind of went back and forth with Coach Oakes. Coach Oakes was a huge help in this whole process for me. He got in touch with the other couple teams, the Giants and Mariners, that were interested, and got a call from the Rangers back a couple rounds later saying, hey, if you would take that same offer, we'd draft you right here.
Wow. So
crazy moment.
Oakes got a bidding war started for you, basically. That's what I'm hearing.
Kind of did, yeah. I kind of give him the credit for getting drafted versus signing post draft.
So yesterday you're telling people, hey, don't mess with me, don't call me, no text. Like the phone lines have got to be open. What was that conversation like?
Yeah, I was actually on the phone with one of my buddies right after. So I got the call that I was going to get drafted. So sent a couple people a text that I was to watch for their next pick, and one of my buddies called me. So I was on FaceTime with one of my last year's teammates, Colby. So it was fun to share that moment with him, and my girlfriend was in the room with me.
That's
so
awesome.
Crazy moment.
So yeah, to see your name pop up, I mean, just take me through that. Like, that's got to be surreal, man.
It was surreal. I was shaking. I couldn't really contain my emotion. It is a dream come true for somebody in my situation. I've been a long career of big changes. I came in as a catcher to North Dakota State, switched to pitching. So I've only been pitching for a few years, and to have this opportunity is mind-blowing.
I wanted to bring that up, and I'm glad you did, because take us through the recruiting process out of Eden Prairie. When did North Dakota State come on the map, and then the conversation about moving to be a pitcher?
Yeah, so started getting recruited more heavily my junior year of high school. My first choice, honestly, was to the U of M.
Yeah.
I've always grown up watching them, so they kind of nothing ended up happening with them. So right when NDSU called, had me up for a visit, and I fell in love with the campus. I really liked the facilities, everything about it. So I pretty much committed right after that. Right after they offered me, I think it was about a week after they offered, I accepted, and then got up here. First 2 years was just catching. Actually, towards the end of my second year, I asked Oaks if I could throw a bullpen just to kind of see if I could do something to get on the field. So he said, I'll give you a bullpen if you can throw 70% strikes. I will give you another bullpen.
Wow.
So I was able to do that
Okay.
first few, and then it kind of kept rolling from there. I was a two-way for a full year. And that was a lot of work.
I bet.
Kind of training as two full players, so it's a lot of time. And then my junior year, my third year, that was the 2A year. The fourth year was completely pitcher. I didn't take BP or anything. I was only a pitcher. And then this last year I did a pitching development program with Tread, and that helped a bunch. So made some changes that were really, really successful in this last season. So
when's the last time you picked up a bat?
It's probably been 2 years now. So
well, you were just an average player, man. I'm looking at you were second team All-State catcher. You were voted you're not the second best catcher in Minnesota the year you came out of high school, man. So you were just some average catcher back there.
I know. I don't know. I think COVID did
no doubt
a number.
Yeah,
my catching skills, so it kind of fell behind. And I've always had a really good arm, and I've always wanted to pitch too. I've at least try it out, see if I could do it.
Well, apparently you can. You can do it really well. You mentioned what you did this offseason and leading into 2024. What made you such a good reliever to come in those pressure situations to nail down a game? Why was that such a skill that you had this year?
Yeah, this last offseason I made a couple big jumps. My command, my biggest issue is always consistency. So with my mechanics, with my command, it's always been the biggest issue. And I finally got enough reps in, and then I added a sinker. The sinker was the biggest addition this year that kind of set me apart from a lot of other guys. Just that different movement profile, and it played really well. And that's actually what got a bunch of the professional teams interested. So
that's the pitch, huh?
Yeah, the sinker was the big one.
Okay.
Then, yeah.
We were just showing video of you were on the mound for the final out of the crazy game at Iowa. Tell me about that, of that experience, you being a Minnesota kid as well, to win a game like that against a Big Ten team.
Oh, that was a crazy game.
Yes.
Yeah, I remember coming in, and I think it was for Hunter Rosenbaum, and it was kind of in a jam situation. So, no, they're a very good team. Maybe had a little bit of a down year this year, but it's always really fun to do well against a good team. So it was super cool moment. And
we were showing highlights also of their game against Omaha, where you went. I mean, you were almost a starter in that game in the Summit League tournament, knowing full well you had to win. How? I mean, that's about as much pressure as you can have. You're in an elimination game, and you're asked to go even longer than you had. What was the mentality for you when you got on the mound that day?
Going in, because I haven't gone in that early. I think it was second inning, I think. And so I kind of played it as a starter. I wasn't going all out from pitch one, because usually I'm towards the end or closing games, so
right.
I can go full effort the whole time. So I kind of dialed it back a little bit, because I knew I would have to eat some innings there. And props to their starter. He went.
Oh, he was awesome. He got drafted incredible. As well. I saw that he got drafted yesterday. Harrison Kryling were talking. He was amazing in that game.
He was incredible in that game. So it was kind of a pitching battle there through the middle innings, and then that last inning, it was kind of a crazy. That was kind of the highlight of the whole season there.
So. You had the fist pump of fist pumps after that inning.
Yeah, that was good.
You heard me mention off the top, this is 4 years in a row that a Bison has been drafted in the MLB draft, and baseball. I mean, people know how good football is around here. I think they know basketball. When I say that, what kind of pride do you have in your baseball program that's happened now 4 straight years?
Oh, yeah, we've had some really, really talented guys in the last few years. The program's on an upward trajectory talent-wise, and all the resources that are at our disposal. So you can kind of, the guys that want to make a run at pro ball, you have a great chance here. So it's been a great environment for me. 2
questions here before I let you go. First one, who is the young stud or studs we don't know of yet on the Bison baseball team can make an impact in 2025? Who has a chance to break through?
Pitching wise, we got Landon Koenig was one of our starters.
Really good.
He's got some really, really good upside to him. Parker Pitts, obviously, he was our Friday.
Yeah.
At the beginning of this year, he got hurt in the first game, which is super unfortunate. I'm going to forget some names here, but Nolan Johnson is another one.
Yep.
He did super well when he was healthy. Some hitters, Sam Canton, he's got some really good potential. I'm going to forget some guys. I'm going to be mad about it.
I don't want to get you in trouble here.
Yeah.
Before I let you go, so now what's next? We were talking a little bit off air of what's the immediate future for you? What are the Rangers telling you, or what you don't even know yet, maybe?
Yeah. So like I was saying before, I'm still waiting on a call for kind of the logistic stuff. So I'm assuming I'll be heading out here in the next few days to Arizona, and then go through a physical. I think then eventually, or they wait for the results on that, and then sign eventually. So that's the process that I'm aware of so far. And then you get kind of put wherever they think you're ready for. So,
and then it's real world, man, right? Then you're playing professional baseball. I mean, you shake your head when I say that.
Yeah, it's crazy to think about that I'm a professional baseball player now. So it's a dream come true.
Well, we're seeing your former teammate Bennett Hostetler, who got drafted a couple years ago. He's this far away from the majors. I mean, that's the road, right? You want to follow that road.
Yeah, he texted me the other day. He gave me some tips. So, yeah, I'm been watching him for a long time. He's fun to watch.
That's fantastic. I really appreciate the time, man. Congratulations. It was awesome to see you pitch this past season. Congrats on getting drafted, and good luck. We'll be in touch, okay?
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Joey Danielson, Eden Prairie, Minnesota, North Dakota State pitcher who was selected yesterday by the Texas Rangers in the 17th round of the Major League Baseball draft. As I mentioned, NDSU now has had 4 straight draft picks. Hostetler started it in 2021. He was drafted by Miami, and he is now in AAA. Just got moved up to AAA 2 weeks ago, so he's the most recent of the draft picks. You go back, Bison players have been drafted since 2013, so over the last 11 years. John Straka was selected, great pitcher, Summit League first-team selection by Texas. Jay Flaw made the major leagues, Mandan kid. Remember, I was on the air that night when that happened with the Baltimore Orioles, 6th-round pick in 2015. Juan Gamez was selected by the Twins in 2016. Hostetler, we mentioned, in 2021. Jonah Tong, and we did the story. We were talking with Tyler Oakes about this. He signed with the Bison, and then the Mets drafted him in the 7th round in 2022 out of Canada. So he did not play with NDSU. He went and signed with the Mets, but he was an NDSU signee, never pitched for the Bison. And obviously last year, Cade Feeney made his appearance in the 13th round, drafted by the Red Sox. He's been injured a bit this year, but he's pitched well in Boston's minor leagues. And now Joey Danielson is the next to add to that list, in the 17th round by the Texas Rangers. That's pretty darn good. That's a graphic there that if Oakes wants to steal it to use on the recruiting trail, certainly can. Out of North Dakota State, that many guys have been drafted over the last 10 years. Impressive. We'll break here. We come back. Some Bison men's basketball scheduling news, and we'll wrap up this week's edition of the Bison Media Zone. We're back on WDAY Extra and WDAY Plus right after this. Wrapping things up out here on the Bison Media Zone on this Wednesday morning. Our thanks to Joey Danielson for giving us a few minutes. If you watched Hot Mike earlier on this Wednesday, found out North Dakota State's men's basketball team will face off against Minnesota State University Moorhead in a exhibition game slated for October the 23rd. We are starting to piece together a little bit of the non-conference schedule. It's one of my favorite activities in the summer is starting to figure out the non-conference for the Bison basketball teams. And the Bison men have another home-and-home coming in 2024-25. Remember last year they did it with Tim Miles and San Jose State. They're going to be playing another California school in a home-and-home this year. Cal State Bakersfield will be an opponent for the Bison. They will head to Bakersfield in November for a matchup, and then they will return home. They'll play November the 11th in California against the Roadrunners of Cal State Bakersfield. The first time they play, and that court is legit, folks. That is their home floor. Yes, it is blue. That game will be November the 11th, a Monday, the second week of the basketball season. And then Bakersfield will come to Fargo on December the 23rd, also a Monday, right before Christmas time. So that's at least 2 games that we know on the regular season schedule. I can tell you, we know the Bison are going to play Western Michigan, Southern Illinois, and Illinois State all at home this year. So for everything that I have ragged on Dave Richmond about on scheduling, there's no Oak Hills Christian coming this year. They may play a non-Division I team, but it's not going to be more than one. They have 5 Division I non-conference games at home this year. That's never happened in the Division I era. Pretty good stuff. Thanks so much for watching here on the Bison Media Zone. We're back next week. See you then.